and welcome to Haunted Montana episode 8. And hi, Crimses! Yay, you're first! Hi, Pretirement! Hello, Mirror! Welcome in! There is a wrench for you, so you can toss up your link if you want. Let's see, guys. Hi, buddy! Let's see, guys. There's a ghost story. There's called, let's see if I can find it. Footsteps on the Stairs. What do you guys think about that? And then there's The Guest Who Never Checked Out. What do you guys think? Which one should we do today, guys? Which one? I am doing great today, buddy. How about you? It's a beautiful day here, actually. It's like 53 degrees outside, 53. And then we're supposed to get to the 40s this week. We're supposed to get to the 40s, nearly 30s. So we might get some snow probably November, maybe, because it hasn't snowed here yet. But it might. Who knows? The weather changes here a lot. What do you guys think? Let's see. And then hi, Yankee Kyle. It's a bit cold there, buddy. Yeah, it's gonna get a little cold this week, a little. But pretty soon we're gonna get 20-degree temps pretty soon. It might be November before we get our first snowfall, might. Let's see. And then there's a ghost story called Return. I have my mind on ice fishing, buddy. Yeah, in Montana we do ice fishing here too. We do ice fishing up here. People do that. It's pretty cool. You got Honky Tonk Time and Garnet. What do you guys think? Let's see. And I am doing great, Kyle. How about you? I'm trying to figure out which ghost story to read next. They're all so amazing. What do you you guys think? What do you think, Kyle? Should we read the one called The Guest Who Never Checked Out? And that's in Red Lodge, Montana. I don't know if I've been there, but probably have and didn't know. Oh, your friend loaned you his electric bicycle and you went for a little ride on it? Cool, cool, buddy. I didn't know they had those. That is so cool. I know they have electric cars, but I didn't know they had electric bicycles. That is so cool. E-bike, yep. Here we go, guys. You ready? The Guest Who Never Checked Out. This is the first time reading about this one. And this is the Pollard Hotel. And this is in Red Lodge. If I had been by it, probably didn't know it. Hi, Mikey! We're reading some ghost stories, Mikey. So they say that the ghostly activity level is high there. Ooh. Probably there's a lot of ghosts in it. Or a ghost, maybe. The Pollard Hotel is built in 1893. Ooh, cool, cool. Woo, woo. Mikey. Woo, goes the ghost. So they said it was the first brick building in the coal mining town of Red Lodge. Oh, cool, cool, guys. It was known at first as the Spofford Hotel. There you go. Its guests included frontiersman Johnston, as well as other celebrities such as Buffalo Bill Cody and Calamity Jane. Oh, cool, cool. They're from the Wild West. That is so cool. They said now it's listed in the National Registry of Historic Places. The Pollard draws tourists from all over the world who brave the switchbacks of the Beartooth Highway en route to Yellowstone National Park in summer, and skiers who come to enjoy some of Montana's best powder skiing at nearby Red Lodge Mountain in winter. Ooh, cool, cool. I've been to Yellowstone though. Hi, Aries! Love balls incoming. We got a ghost story in Red Lodge there, Aries. And I think I've been there probably, but didn't know there's a haunted place. Oh, holy, that's a lot of lava balls. I can't say that number. That's a lot. Ah, lava spam balls. Lava balls on my table. That's funny. Lava spam. is so funny. How about lava spam sandwich? Lava pizza? Lava pie? Lava ice cream? Lava cake? That is so funny. Lava banana? How about lava apples? Lava salad? That is so funny. Lava pumpkin? That is so funny. How about lava tacos? Guys, please connect with each other. Everybody here is awesome. So they say it's raining tacos from out of the sky. How about lava chicken? They said this, so they saw the phenomena. So the phenomena that happens there is the scent of French perfume is sometimes noticed on the second floor. Ooh. Ghosts can make their presence known by smell sometimes. They can do that, and sometimes they make they kind of move things around to make their presence known too. A lava ghost. Just kidding. They said lights are found on in empty rooms, and the unmistakable sound of a racquetball game in progress has been heard from dark and locked courts. Wow. Hi, Berry Berry! We're reading about a ghost story in Red Lodge, Berry Berry. It's in Montana somewhere. I'm trying to remember where it's at, though. Probably can look at a map and see where it is. And then they say, staff, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters! I've seen that movie. I love that film. Had Bill Murray and I'm trying to remember who else. I saw it years ago, though. But it was really cool. And they said also, they've seen the figure of a man in 1920s era plus 4 golfing trousers. Ah, so there's a golfing ghost. And on the main stairs. And also pouring himself a cup of coffee in the main bar. Happy Monday to you too, Berry Berry. Hi, big movie fan. So then they said a photo taken by a guest shows the faint image of a woman with shoulder-length dark hair, and a white blouse, and a 1940s jumper. Oh, Cool, guys. So there's another ghost there. Thank you so much, big movie fan. So, guys, let's see. So people might have encountered these ghosts here. Wow. You guys are the best. Alright, so here we go, guys. And then they said, like most fine hotels, the Pollard takes justifiable pride in its elegant decor. Ooh. I don't think I've seen its decor, though. I don't think I have. So I should try to see it for myself. So they said attentive, but unobtrusive service and long tradition of fine cuisine. Yum. And they say guests are often reluctant to leave the comfort of the Pollard. And a few apparently enjoyed their stay so much that they have never checked out. And they said their spirits are said to linger in the hotel's quiet corridors and rooms. The Pollard, like many historic hotels, is haunted. Ooh. What do you guys think of that? Oh, thank you so much, Aries. You guys have a wonderful day. And hi to Hadley and Ava and Airy Bear. You guys are the best. Bear hugs back. And lava hugs, too. Mega lava hugs. So then they said, so this is what someone have had this happen. It's in October. I don't know what year this was, but they said this person and their friend drove to Red Lodge to find the town digging out from under 15 inches of snow. Wow, that's a lot of snow, guys. There's some places in Montana that can get to 3 feet of it. 15 inches, that's a lot. So they said after an excellent lunch, they settled themselves in the Pollard's history room to examine scrapbooks filled with clippings about the hotel. It's pretty cool. Like it's kind of like a history scrapbook. That's pretty cool. And then let's see. Okay, there we go. So then they said an article entitled "Friendly Ghost Remains at Pollard Hotel" from the Carbon County News of October 26, 1994. So that October 26 was a couple days ago, guys. Thank you so much, Berry Berry. So that anniversary was like 3 years ago now, that article. I should look up that article sometime and read the history. I love history and science. And they said it described a number of encounters with the Pollard's ghost. Ooh. They said there are at least 3 ghosts there. A woman in Victorian clothes, a small boy who sometimes accompanies her, and a male ghost called George. And they say George, the ghost, he apparently spends much of his time in room 114, and where handprints are sometimes found on the mirror, and in room 214, while the door often closes by itself, despite being propped open while housekeepers clean the room. So they said then the appetizing smell of fresh coffee or popcorn has also been noted in these rooms. They said even when they have been unoccupied for several days. Wow. So then they say, according to staff, George also likes to tinker with electrical devices, setting off all the smoke alarms at once or causing all the hotel's telephones to ring at the same time. How can a ghost do that? I don't know. Hey, Jay's Mix! How are you today? We're reading about a ghost that likes to have the phones ringing all at once. Jay's Mix. Wonder how can ghosts do that? I don't know for sure. I'm doing wonderful, Jay's Mix. It's a beautiful day. Yeah. Oh, hi. They're obsessed with horror. Nice to meet you. Here is... Sorry. Hold on one sec. There you go. There's a wrench so you can toss up your link if you want. Welcome. So then they say, footsteps are sometimes heard going up and down the stairs when the hotel is closed. Oh, you're welcome. They're obsessed with horror. You're welcome, my friend. Halloween's coming, guys. What's that right there, Jay's Mix? These are postcards. I give those away as presents too. Just let me know if you want one, and give me an email, and I'll send you one. And then I can send you a sun catcher, a poster, or little something. Let me know, and I can give it to you. I'll give it to you, my friend. Just let me know. Like, give me an email or give me a message to the comments, and I'll give you one. Just let me know, Jay's Mix. Funny thing I'm doing now. Oh, welcome back, Francis. We're reading about Ghost Story in Red Lodge. And this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Yep, I'm smiling. Oh, thank you, Mikey. I mentioned that's from my mom's coworker's sister, the piano with the cats. I love it. It's so cute. It plays music too. It's like a music box. It's cute. Let's see. There you go. Here, Mikey. Let's see if I can get. There we go. It plays music. It's so cute. It's so cute. Hi, Elma Sis. I was just playing the music box. Oh, thank you so much, Jay's Mix. Yeah, plays music. You know, I have another music box that has like a dancer in it, and it plays music also. It's really cute. Yeah, I'll show you guys that one too. Let's see here now. It said that a female employee has even caught a glimpse of George on 2 occasions. Ooh. On the landing of the staircase in the lobby, and again in the bar pouring himself a cup of coffee. Spam coffee. And they say he looked solid and seemed quite at home. And then the employees described him as a man in his 60s and wearing +4 trousers, golf trousers, which were popular from about 1890 to the 1930s. He had vanished almost before she realized what she had seen. Wow, ghosts are fast. Wow. So then they said, let's see, they had made arrangements, this gal and her friend, for a tour of the hotel with one of the staff who preferred to remain anonymous. She greeted them and she took them into the gallery, a 3-story atrium featuring a huge stained glass window and a massive fireplace and many comfortable chairs and sofas. Hi, Patty Fish. Thank you so much. They said the gallery was built in 1992 around a outdoor laundry area that had been. Oh, it's all good, Alma. All good. And they said it had been on the site of a number of strange happenings. I wonder what happened there. And they said on the second floor, she pointed out the 2 rooms where housekeeping staff had sensed the ghostly presence. They said no one knew who George might have been. But they said, but he was obviously a gentleman at heart, they said. For whenever these rooms were occupied, George moved out. And then they said their guide left them briefly to answer a question from another employee. And they strolled over to a window to admire the view of the snow-covered Beartooth Mountains in the distance. And that's on the way to Yellowstone National Park. I don't think I've been there either, guys. Whoa. So then they say, let me see. Then as they turned back, the person turned back, they caught a whiff of perfume. And they say it was a delicate floral scent. And quite lovely, not one that I recognized, and their friend recognized it too. They say it reminded them of their grandmother's French perfume. Had the Pollard's Victorian lady ghost decided to make her presence felt? Maybe, guys, maybe she did. And they said, then the friend gave a exclamation and pointed to the basket of potpourri standing in the corner a few feet away. And then they leaned over and sniffed at it. The potpourri had a woodsy odor, with a slightly spicy overtone. Nothing at all had the delightful floral scent that by then was no longer detectable. This thing had that scent really come from a potpourri mix? The verdict can only be not proven. When they said encouraged, they followed the staff member down the corridor to room 210. While the lights sometimes switched themselves back on as soon as the housekeeping staff left the room. What are these ghosts doing? It happens at the battlefield too. Then they said the lights were definitely off. Perhaps George, that ghost, had tired of the game. Then they went up to the third floor, where they examined yet another room said to be haunted. This had a peculiar quality of stillness about it that they had encountered in other haunted places before. And there's a sense that beneath the bustle of modern day life, traces of the past still lingered. Wow. It might have been interesting to spend a night in that room. I don't know if I want to spend a night in that room, but maybe I'll just be a little nervous, but I'll be fine. But they said, but they had a long, snowy drive ahead of them, and they wanted to get back to Billings while the sun was still shining. And they said the Pollard still hosts a lively assortment of ghosts. Not long ago, a group of businessmen and their wives spent a weekend at the Pollard. They knew nothing about the haunting, yet one of the women noticed the scent of a fine perfume in one of the second floor corridors. Hi, Minute Marvels! And hi, Tommy! And then they said she wasn't wearing perfume at the time and the corridor was empty. Oh, the ghost man's presence known again. Wow. Yep, we are, Mikey. Reading ghost stories. Yep, we're reading ghost stories, Tommy. And then they said in November 2003, a guest felt strangely uneasy on the landing of the stairway where George had been seen. I was a little nervous too. Just a little bit, but yeah, Halloween special, Tommy. Yep, Halloween's coming up soon here. It'll be on Thursday. It's on Thursday this year. I'm so excited. And then they say a photo taken by fellow guest just then shows the head and shoulders of a woman with shoulder-length dark hair, a white blouse, and the white straps of a 1940s era jumper floating just behind her. Ooh. You know, guys, I've heard about that. When someone takes a picture of something and they get the film back, and sometimes there's a ghost there. It's kind of weird. But I've read stuff like that. This guy took a picture of his cat, and then when he got the film back, there's a second cat in the picture. So probably it was a ghost cat, probably. It's like, wow. I think I've seen video of it too before. Then they say a week later, paranormal investigator happened to be at the Pollard with two friends. Paranormal investigator, they're the ghost. They're like the ghost hunters. Or paranormal investigator, ghost investigators. Have I seen a ghost man at Marvel's? I think I might have on the Little Bighorn Battlefield webcam one night, and I think it was Custer's ghost that I saw. But I haven't seen a ghost since that time. I felt them too around, but I think I saw Custer's ghost on the webcam one night at the battlefield, and I was looking at it. And I haven't been on there since Marvels, but hopefully I can see more ghosts on there again. That was like my first ghost encounter on a webcam. It was so cool. Yeah, and you know, I haven't been on the webcam at night for a while. In fact, they have to fix the webcams down there right now. So that's the first time I ever encountered one right there. You're going for an Italian pizza? There, Mikey. Yum, yum, yum. Hi, Nitros. Let's see here now. They were quietly talking in the atrium about 10:30 p.m. when all three of them saw what they described as a shimmer in the air pass nearby. I wonder what that shimmer was. Probably was a ghost again. They said at the same time they caught a strong whiff of shaving lotion. That's a first. Wow. Hi, Christine. And hi to Jumpy. Too. They said it looked like a veil rippling past them. They all saw it. Oh, I'd be nervous if that thing was there. I'll be scared. A little nervous, but I'll be fine again. I'll say, what was that? And they said later that same night, they met in one of their bedrooms on the third floor to discuss what they had seen. And then all of a sudden the door began to rattle. Oh no. And then it very slowly it opened. And they said all three men got up. And then they said they walked over to the door and stepped onto the hole. Oh no. Probably there's a ghost out there. And then they said there was no one there. He told his friends and turned to go back in. At that moment, the unseen presence walked right through him. Yikes. And his friends saw Warden's eyes widen and knew something strange had happened. Although none of them saw anything unusual. Oh, that's pretty scary. And then they couldn't resist in asking him what it felt like to have a ghost walk right through him. That's pretty scary. And then he said, it felt really weird, he replied after a moment's thought. So, and walked through me. It's pretty scary. And then he said he also mentioned his experience to the receptionist at the front desk. The man didn't seem at all surprised. He said, you ought to be here on New Year's or St. Pat's Day, known as St. Patrick's Day. He told him, he said the ghosts really get active around then. So who are the ghosts of the Pollard? And they said perhaps they are the former townspeople still celebrating New Year's Eve or St. Patrick's Day as they used to. They said perhaps they are former staff who never really retired, or guests from a long time ago who are reluctant to leave the comforts of this historic hotel. If so, who can blame them? I too was reluctant to leave. Wow. And then they said, this is a update. This book was from 2007, but this is an update. The Pollard offers thoroughly modern rooms, fine dining, and possibly a chance encounter with one of the hotel's ghosts. They said stunning views of the Beartooth Mountains and a stroll through the historic streets of Red Lodge will make your visit even more enjoyable. Wow. That's pretty cool. Wow. 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 Let's see. What do you guys think of this one? Honky Tonk Time and Garnet. What do you guys think? Or should we do a different one? Which one do you guys think we should do? And Garnet is a Montana town too, and I think it's a ghost town now. Like Bannock and Virginia City, Nevada City, all those towns. But I think Virginia City now, people are living in there now again. I think. Hi, Linen Journals. So what do you guys think? Should we do Honky Tonk Time in Garnet? Or should we try something else? What do you think, Mikey? What do you think, Nitros? Oh, happy spooky season. Yeah, it's almost Halloween, Linen Journals. I'm excited. Oh, we'll check that out, Linen Journals. We'll check it out. You got a Halloween costume? I have one too. I just gotta find my the shirt for the costume. Okay, Mikey, you want to do Honky Tonk Time in Garnet? Okay, here you go. And they said, so this is called Honky Tonk Time in Garnet, and this is in the ghost town of Garnet, and okay, yeah, this is Garnet. It's a ghost town still. It's been a ghost town for many years. Your granddaughter's dressing up as a Frankenstein fox. Oh, cool, cool, Mikey. I'm going to be a storm chaser for Halloween. I got the idea from Twisters. I got the idea. And I'll make like a little short of it, of my Twisters costume. I'm just gonna have like a tornado shirt, and I'll like pretend to have a video camera, because that's what storm chasers do. And then I'll have what else? And I think I might have my tornado maker with me. But here you go, guys. So, ghostly. So they said ghostly activity levels moderate. So here we go. So they say Garnet was founded in 1895 to process gold from the nearby Nancy Hanks mine. I wonder if it's named after someone Nancy. They said when gold became scarce, however, the population dropped rapidly from its peak to about 1,000. Oh no. Yeah, and people are still mining for gold today. People are still mining for it. We've been mining it for hundreds of years, since 1800s. And then they said as the late as the 1960s, there was only a few summer residents. They said, although a mining town, Garnet was never as lawless as Bannock or Virginia City, perhaps because most of the miners brought their families. And they said the remaining wooden buildings have been stabilized but not restored. Access is by road during summer and by ski or snowmobile in winter. And they say, yep, you'll cosplay with it when you get home, Ellen Journals. And they said, oh, thank you for coming by, Lennon Journals. Much love to you. And they said that it's owned and managed by the Bureau of Land Management, assisted by the Garnet Preservation Association. If you're going to be a storm chaser, can you chase away this darn cold? I don't know, Jace. Makes my lava probably melt the snow. Here's some lava to get the snow. Lava snowballs! Oops, lava fell in the snow. And then they said phenomena. And by the way, Jay's Mix, I'm going to be doing more gaming in January of next year sometime. I can't wait to do that some more. It's fun. I'll be playing more gaming, doing more of that stuff. I'm trying to figure out, I'm still trying to fix that other laptop still, but I probably might get it fixed. And we can probably play some beanies on it. Well, on this one, we can play Drop and all sorts of games. They work on the other laptop too as well. But that one has to be fixed for now. Oh, I love gaming too, Lennon Journals. Gaming is fun. So they say the phenomena that happens is the honky-tonk piano music, voices and clinking glasses are heard. Coming from Kelly's Saloon by Garnet's winter caretakers. They also replayed unexplained footsteps. Yeah, they're unexplained. And in the J.K. Wells Hotel. wonder what this was named for. I don't know. They said visitors who rent one of the cabins in winter sometimes report seeing figures wearing old-fashioned clothing who vanish before their eyes. Strange figures sometimes show up in photographs taken in various buildings. Ooh. Oh, I color too, Lennon journals. I color. I sometimes paint once in a while. I draw, and then I paint it or color it. It's pretty fun. Okay, so then they said these people that came to Garnet, they said their first visit could well have been their last. Cool, Lennon journals. I even journal sometimes too. I haven't done that in a while. I guess I gotta get back to journaling one of these days. We want to see Lennon journals. And then they said they wasn't used to the mountain driving at the time of this, but they had spent much of their boyhood exploring the mountains around Lewistown and was completely at home on even the worst roads. Then they said this guy and his friend, their friend, they said that when they finally directed them to turn on the Bear Creek Road, they did so unaware of the route's reputation. And there's a section of this steep, narrow dirt road called China Grade has seemingly been carved out of the side of a cliff. Hi, Bethany! Well, thank you so much. I bought that for my mom also to have her reader's glasses. I bought that for her, I think, Mother's Day or her birthday. And I got that for her. Reading about Ghost Story and Garnet there, Bethany. Let's see now. They said if another vehicle had been coming down, one of us would have to back up in hopes of finding a slightly wider spot to pull into. Ooh. And they said there was a drop of what looked like hundreds of feet on the driver's side and a steep embankment on the other side. They said when their Buick nearly high centered on a large rock, while Ghost didn't scare them, China Grade did. It's like a road that goes through. I don't think I've been there either, I don't think. And then that person says to their friend, "You drive," and then eased out of the car, all too aware of the drop-off, less than a yard away. So they shifted into the driver's seat and drove carefully up the road while they trudged on foot behind, as far from the edge of the road as they could get. So when they finally reached the top and saw Garnet, we noticed several other cars arriving from another direction, and realized that there must be a different and presumably less dangerous way to reach Garnet. Wow. They said their legs were shaking after their ordeal. So they found a cool spot beneath a pine tree and sat to rest while their friend parked the car. And they were aware that Garnet was supposed to be haunted. And I think it is. Oh. And then they said, of course, but I was still too unnerved to think about ghosts. So then they said, the breeze through the pine trees above them was relaxing. And then they soon began to take an interest in the town spread out below them. So that they almost immediately something struck them as odd. This, although the breeze was now strong enough to create a tossing sea of pine branches at the edge of town, the tall grasses around the buildings weren't moving at all. Wow. And they said that there was an unnatural stillness about the place they thought they recognized. They said a few people were strolling around the log buildings. And they said occasionally they could hear the laughter of children splashing in a tiny creek, but it all seemed superficial, just a ripple on the surface of a deep pool of time. Huh. Wonder if they're ghosts, guys. I wonder if they are. You never know, though. They said they had encountered the phenomenon once before. One on Bosworth Field in England. The crest of the hill where the king and his supporters had made camp had been absolutely silent, and the grasses were unmoving, although the trees at the edge of the hill were swaying in a strong breeze. Even our guide had commented on it. Ooh. There's ghosts there too. I said perhaps Garnet haunted like Bosworth wasn't quite dead after all. And then they said they tried to imagine what Garnet must be like in winter. The only way to reach the town would be by ski or snowmobile. They do that with Yellowstone too, but they do snow coaches. Excuse me, sorry guys. And they said there would be no shouts of little children running around and no distant crunch of cars on gravel. Just the sigh of the wind and the occasional thump as snow dropped from the roof of one of the log buildings. And then they said at night, under the burning stars, perhaps the tinkle of honky-tonk music from Kelly's Saloon, or the sharp rap of invisible fingers on a caretaker's cabin door in the darkness. They're probably knocking at night. They said the stories can be traced back to at least the early 1970s. Ooh, I think these are the ghost stories, guys. They go back to the 70s. That's the same time The occurrences happen at the battlefield at the same time there. That's also. And then they said the stories can be traced. But they said many of them describe unexplained footsteps on the second floor of the J.K. Wells Hotel. Probably the most impressive building still standing in Garnet. They said the hotel was built in 1897 and had closed in the 1930s. And they said the building was considered elegant for its time and with carved wooden doors and stained glass windows and an oak staircase. And then they said this person of the Montana Heritage Commission, his name was John Elingson, at Garnet in various capacities from 1970 to 1972. And they said in 1970, he was a volunteer representing the Montana Historical Society, they told the person. They said, I had never heard any stories about the ghost before then. One day, I happened to be taking measurements in the J.K. Hotel, he said. And he said a friend's dog was with him, and they heard footsteps coming from the empty second floor of the hotel. And they said the dog, who was probably more sensitive than I was, appeared terrified and ran out of the building. And then they said it was broad daylight, probably in late July. After that, I always got the shivers, and whenever I was walking around town, making sure things were all right, especially at night. They said they've been back to Garnet several times since then, but they've never had another ghostly experience there. Wow. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on 1 second. Excuse me. Okay, guys, I'm back. And then they said Yellowstone was the first people to report paranormal activity at Garnet in the 1970s. They said one of the most occurrences happened to his friend, who was hired by the Bureau of Land Management to be the guard in the winter. They said according to Ellingson, the friend heard the music playing in Kelly's Saloon one night in the dead of winter. Why, a ghost is playing the music, guys. A music ghost. And they said it was like they were having a wild party down there with a piano playing, people singing. Ellingson quoted his friend as saying, when his friend went out to see what was going on, the music stopped and the place was completely dark. We said 4 carpenters from Glacier National Park who were brought in to stabilize one of the rotting cabins in Garnet also experienced something at Garnet. Wonder what they encountered. Let's see, guys. Let's go. Whoa. Almost dropped the phone. And they said, according to an article entitled History Channel Films as Carpenters Wrap Up Garnet Preservation Project, in the Musuem of October 27, 2002. So that anniversary was yesterday. I didn't know about that. Then they said construction materials sometimes could not be found when needed, and tools set down briefly went missing an instant later. How the ghosts are hiding their tools. And they said that's their story and they're sticking to it. The head of the park's special projects group was quoted as saying, now it's gotten to the point that so sorry guys if I dropped the phone. So sorry guys. So sorry about that. There we go. Excuse me, guys. So sorry about that. Then they said, let's see. This thing now has gone to the point to whenever anything happens, it's the ghost. They said they never make mistakes. The head of the park's special projects, he also said he must have spoken tongue in check, but the eerie occurrences happen too often to be explained as absent-mindedness on the part of 4 experienced carpenters. Is that a number of photographs taken at Garnet have revealed more than was visible to the photographer's eye at the time. Probably captured a ghost on camera. And they said a Great Falls woman reported that she had found several ghostly images on a photo she had taken in the hotel. They said another visitor claimed to have photographed what looked like a tall, thin, shadowy figure in the blacksmith shop. Ooh. They said odd things continue to happen. So this woman, she said, she's a volunteer from New York who has spent 1 month each summer since 2000 greeting people in the visitor center. She had an odd experience in August of '04 on Friday the 13th. Oh boy, I wonder what happened. Let's see, guys. She says a visitor to Garnet came down to the visitor center after roaming all over the hill to look at the miners' cabins that are still standing. She said she related she brought a digital camera picture to show me a picture of a calendar that was laying on the cook stove. No, Kansas accidentally dropped the phone. Whoops, sorry. There we go, guys. There we go. And then they said it was in one of the cabins. So then they said it was a tarot calendar page from August of 1943. And then they said coincidentally, August of 1943 had also had been a Friday the 13th. And they said their historian also saw the photo. And they said they immediately went up the hill to confirm the existence of the page. And it was lying on the stove as reported. There were no additional visitors in town. And since by then it was closing time, we locked up the building so he could walk up the hill to see this calendar for himself. So when he got there, it was gone. Uh-oh. Pretty much a ghost probably did it. Oh, thank you for coming by, Mikey. You have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming by. Then they said they believe there were no other people in town. And they know there was no one else who heard the conversation about the calendar. They said, that sounds scary, don't it? And they said, Garnet seems to have classic examples of residual hauntings in which emotional energies are supposedly absorbed by stone and wood or wooden buildings, or by concentrations of minerals in the vicinity. It's thought that occasionally, when someone is sensitive enough to get close by, he or she will hear or see a replay of an event that occurred long ago. They say the ghosts in a case of residual haunting do not react to an observer. And then they said, and are actually a sort of recorded image. They said typically when an observer gets too close, their own electromagnetic field interferes with the replay and the ghostly sounds stop abruptly. They say the Garnet Mountains are full of minerals, and I think it might be gold. You never know. Particularly quartz, which is known to amplify and store energy. So the haunting theory seems the most likely explanation for most of the odd events that occurred at Garnet. Wow. I never heard of that theory. First time I hearing me this theory, guys. Wow, that's pretty cool. And this is what they say. Here's a little author's note. If you enjoy solitude in winter and would like to rent one of the cabins at Garnet, don't be surprised to hear ghostly music from Kelly's Saloon. For although paranormal activity is reported at all seasons, the town seems to have to come eerily alive after most tourists have gone. They said, should you attempt to investigate? However, the music will most likely cut off instantly. They said, all that will be left will be the intense winter cold and the darkness. Wow. I didn't know Garnet was haunted. Probably knew then, but I probably forgot. You guys want one more, or do you want to save it for next time? We can do one more. What do you guys think? And there's Patty Fish's second channel. What do you think, Patty Fish? Should we do one more or should we save it for later? And we do another one. What do you think? Should we do another one or should we just do it next time on the next one? What do you guys think we should do? Yep, it's your second channel there, Patty Fish. So what do you think, Patty Fish? Should we do one more or should we save it for next time? What do you think? And what do you think, Jay's Mix? And Nitros? Should we do one more or save it? For next time we do more ghost stories. What do you guys think? And here's a sneak peek of Haunted Yellowstone. They said, it is haunted, Yellowstone National Park. And they said, or is it? They said, you'll think so after reading the tales in this book. They said the stories include a little lost boy who appears and disappears among crowds of tourists, a bride at Old Faithful Inn, and numerous ghostly spirits and mysterious sounds and strange apparitions. This is a great book to read late at night around your campfire, if you dare. I still gotta find that book. Can't wait to find that one. And I got, guys, I have haunted magazines. And we'll be doing Haunted America, hauntings all over the world, sometime next year. And Haunted Yellowstone whenever I can find it. I'm so excited. Hi, Wilda! We just read some ghost stories. And we read the, I'm excited to read some ghost stories from Yellowstone. And I hope they have a Glacier National Park one. I could find too, Haunted Glacier, and I got Haunted America coming up soon. I got magazines of Haunted America. Whoa. And although we accidentally dropped the phone earlier, oops. And that we read some ghost stories. One was in Garnet, which was a ghost town, and it still is. And then we read one about some in Red Lodge, Montana. In Garnet, we used to mine there. Like Anaconda and all that stuff. That's what we used to do. We mined in Anaconda, we mined in Garnet, we mined in Virginia City, we mined all over the place. And Butte, that was another mining town too. Whoa! Almost dropped the book this time. Excuse me again. Sorry, guys. We have haunted colleges here, haunted everything. Huh? Oh, hi there, Josh. Cool. What's for lunch there, Josh? I had lunch a while ago. I had a sandwich with some hot dish. It was really good. With potatoes and some hamburger on it. It was so good. Cool. It's hamburger and gravy hot dish. Yum. Oh, ham and tater tot salad. Delicious there, Josh. We're reading some more ghost stories here. Or we can read one more, guys, if you want. There's Haunted Anaconda. That's another mining town. That's where I was a month ago. I was in Anaconda in September. Did you guys like to hear Haunted Anaconda? I didn't know there's ghosts there. Let's do this, you guys. Let's go. Then I said, okay, Haunted Anaconda. So this is at the Copper Village Museum. And this is in Anaconda, Montana. And they're saying it's ghostly activity levels high there. Ooh. Wow. Why I saw that place and didn't know it, I guess. They said the history here said the Anaconda City Hall was built in 1896 to house the fire department, the police station, and city government. And they said the building was abandoned in 1976, but saved from being demolished by timely intervention of local residents who cherished its mixture of classical, Roman, Moorish, and Gothic architecture. They said today the City Hall is home to the Copper Village Museum and Art Center now. Wonder what ghosts would be there, you guys. Wonder what ghosts would be here. And they said the phenomenon. So here we go. They said the building has a long history of haunting, dating back to 1901. Wow. When police officers in the basement jail office repeatedly heard footsteps in the empty corridors above them, no one ever was found, despite lengthy investigation. The thing that's a ghost thought to be of a prisoner. And they said firemen stationed in the building had also heard the footsteps, they said. And they said present day staff at the Copper Village Museum report doors that mysteriously lock or unlock, and a strong sense of presence, footsteps, and items being moved from one place to another. Oh boy. I wonder what these ghosts are up to. So then they said the narrator, person telling the story, they said they arrived at the City Hall in Anaconda with their friends early on a Saturday morning to find dozens of people busily setting up booths for a harvest festival. Oh, that's pretty cool. And they said their friend, the director of the museum, was simultaneously directing volunteers in fielding phone calls, but she cheerfully sat down with them for a few minutes to share some of the eerie experiences she had in the building. Oh boy, guys, here we go. They said that they had been associated with the museum for 21 years, and they were aware of the ghost from the very beginning. They said when they moved down from the courthouse and started to refurbish this building, she said, they felt there was a presence right away. And they said, when they were in the building working, mysterious things would happen. There were footsteps when no one was in the building. And the doors would shut by themselves, and some things were moved and brought back days later. And they said at first they had their offices down where the gallery is now. But about 2 years ago, they moved their office to their present office. The ghost, he started doing some numbers. He would lock the door, she said. Oh, jeez. Yeah, she said she would use her key in the front door and it wouldn't work. Then when she came around the back door, it would work. And she would come through the building to the front door and the key would work. Ghost. Wow. And then this went on for about 2 weeks, she said. And then finally one day, and she confronted the ghost, she said aloud, "I don't know what you're doing," she said to the ghost. And then she said, and it stopped. Her key worked from then on. Gradually, the feeling got better. So then, as if he accepted us up there. But people have really felt him upstairs and in the basement. Wow, he's all over the place. Wow. And they said they had a plumber come in one day, and he was working in the boiler room, and he came upstairs just white as a sheet and asked if there was someone else in the building. Yikes. And then they said their co-director and that and they and them knew he must have encountered the ghost. So we told him the story. Boy. So he said, as long as I know that I'm okay, I can deal with it. So he said he had felt a very strong presence down there. Some people have said seen shadows where there shouldn't have been shadows. I've never seen them, but I'd love to. And then she said, then she wondered, who is the ghost? She doesn't believe it was the prisoner who was in the police cell in 1901. I wonder who it could be, too. It's a mystery, guys. Mystery. Who this ghost really is. And she said, I've always been under the impression that it was someone who worked there, she said. And then someone who had strong ties to the building. It's like he's inspecting what they do, and then he's happy with the results. I've been told a fireman was injured here, and I felt him everywhere in the building. Several months ago, there were doors closing again upstairs. So they walked up there, thinking maybe some kids had gotten in, although I tried to keep the stairway door locked. There wasn't anyone there. That's happened many times. Then she said she offered to take them to the second floor, and we quickly accepted. They said they felt their hair stand on one end as they entered what had been an imposing courtroom, now used mostly for storage, although nothing unusual was visible. Ooh. It's probably ghosts in there too, guys. You never know. And they said beyond the courtroom was that had been the firemen's dormitory. I didn't know they had firemen's dormitories. It's pretty cool. And they said complete with brackets for the vanished pole. And they said the fire chief's apartment was off to one side. I had no idea, guys, they had dormitories for firemen then. That's pretty cool. It's kind of like the fire station we have now. That's pretty awesome. Then they said there have been people who had walked into the fire chief's apartment and backed out, saying they couldn't go in. And then the lady said, I think it's fascinating, but it doesn't scare me one bit. I'll be a little nervous going in there. But probably I would go in there. Like I say. They said if I ever see him, I think it would frighten me for a moment. I even talked to him and told him I wouldn't mind seeing him. He just does strange things to us, comical things, nothing ever serious. He loves playing jokes on people. There's ghosts that play pranks sometimes. Prankster ghost. That's funny. Ghosts are known to do that too. There's a downstairs. The Harvest Festival was about to open to the public, and she was urgently needed. So before heading back down the stairs, she gave them permission to take as much time as we needed to look around. Then she said that the lady and her friends wandered from room to room, snapping photos at random. They were standing in the middle of the courtroom when they suddenly felt my left side turn icy. Ooh. He said, she asked her friend to take a quick digital photo. And then it showed an orb to their left, almost touching them. And they said it had the orb considered by many to be a form of a ghostly energy, caused that some sense of chill. There are certainly no drafts detectable from the large arched windows. So they decided to speak aloud to any spirits present, hoping to capture a ghostly voice on audio tape. So sure enough, when they replayed their tape, they can make out whispers as well as it were that sound like tip it or tap it. I wonder what ghosts are saying that. And they said, according to the article entitled Ghostly Stories Haunt Anaconda's Old City Hall in the Montana Standard of 2002 on Halloween of 02. And that's coming up, that anniversary too. So I didn't know about these newspaper articles. Several men in that building over the course of the years. And they said no one named Tippett was listed among them. They said perhaps a search of an old city directories would reveal whether anyone by that name had ever been employed there as a policeman, a fireman, or a member of judiciary. Wow. Probably it's a fireman, guys. You never know. Or a cop or something. And they said whoever he was, the ghostly prankster of the Copper Village Museum continues to make his presence known. From time to time, why stop by to enjoy the exhibits? If you feel an icy breeze move past on a warm summer's day, don't worry, it's just the ghost. Wow. They said it's not the only site of a haunting in Anaconda. Here's another one. They said the Anaconda Copper Company smelter also haunted. And they said in the late 1970s, the ghost of a man dressed in old-fashioned workman's clothing was seen in the concentrator building. You know, guys, I think that's the stack I saw when I was in Anaconda. I don't know for sure. They said this guy began his career. His name was James Hooper in 1968 and worked there for decades. He saw the ghost after he had been transferred to the local tram department. Wow. And he said he was working alone up in the old Anaconda concentrator building, more commonly called the mill, he told me. Then the unit was closed for production, but various material for the roasting process was stored. and silo-type bins in the mill. And his job was to cork railroad road hopper cars with rags for loading silica, rock, and lime rock. Wow. And this guy said he had his lunch with him, and during his lunch break, he took a short nap on an old bench on the rod mill floor. And then he suddenly woke up to see an elder gentleman in bib overalls. Elder gentleman. Sorry, guys. Walked by, he said, I thought nothing of it until I realized he was wearing a old cloth cap type anyone wore on the smelter long ago, instead of the hard hat we were required to wear on the job outdoors the road. Wow. And they said, while they heard of ghost sightings from some of the old miners working underground in the Butte operations, they never thought they would spot one at the smelter. And I think that's that stack I saw. I don't know. And they said, to their thinking, he is probably continuing to work at his assigned task, having worked up on the hill since high school. They said many individuals did the same, with their only break in service in 45 or so years being for military service. And they said not long after Hooper contacted them about a sighting, they happened to run across an article that may explain the ghost he saw. And then they asked Hooper whether the ghost he saw might have been from the early 1900s. And he replied, this could possibly explain my sighting. And then he said, I do believe the clothing I saw would fit the early 20th century. And they said work clothes didn't change much. And they said that the old white duck cloth caps were referred in town as smelterman's cap. And they say it was like what a golfer wore. It could very well have been the supervisor they saw, as he was not carrying tools of any kind. So here's an update, guys, another update. The Anaconda Copper Company began operations in 1884 and closed in 1980. The buildings have since been demolished, and the Old Works Golf Course now accompanies the site. And they say the stack still stands in Smelter Park, and at 585 feet can be seen from miles away. I think that's it. Does the spirit of William Evans still linger in that area, brooding on his or is he finally punched out on the time clock of life and gone onward? Perhaps we'll find out someday. Oh, guys, I didn't know that happened there, and I think that's the stack I saw in Anaconda. All right, guys. I'm going to have to cut the stream here. But I appreciate you all stopping by. You guys are the best ever. I love you guys. You guys have a wonderful evening or day or wherever you're at. And I'll see you on the next one. You guys have a beautiful day or night or evening. Much love to you all. Bye, guys. Bye.